Hello, everyone, and welcome to another PlayUp Legends episode. We have Group 1 once again with us today, and we will be doing our episode 3 for this group. If you haven't watched any of our episodes yet, you can find us on YouTube, PlayUp Malta. And first and foremost, we'll just quickly mention the sponsors. Thanks to Temples and Dragons for providing this lovely space where we can live stream from. And we also have Miniature Corner Studio that provides us with 3D printing. Sorry, I just hit the mic there. This is my personal dice holder. Which, by the way, guys, you're going to get one of these next time you're here.
Oh,
Each one of you. Yes, Miniature Corner Studio, thank you very much for your sponsor. So, we'll go straight into the session. A bit of recap. So, we've had Flint, Hex, and Shalky at the center. They met with one of the Norn's Alliance, Spears of Norn, to be exact units, Sir Conrad, who has asked them to join them for a quest against one of the cities down in the south. In the meantime, Augustine and Krikrir were in the library, and they were looking for specific knowledge about the curse, the curse contract, right, the blood contract, and other information about some demon thingy. And then we had Great, who was looking for some valuable items at the closing market, but unfortunately, due to the fact that it was closing time, you didn't get much. But you did promise the merchant that you will be back at sunrise when they're setting up. Before we actually get into the whole roleplay, everyone, would you like to start introducing your characters? Starting from Augustine.
Okay, so I'm Jake. If you can hear me right, I'll be playing Augustine today, the human bard. As the poet says, by the music of his poetry, he charmed the stubborn rocks on the mountains and the course of rivers.
Hello, I'm Joe. I'll be playing Shalke. I'm the ranger who controls the flies and has been here since the beginning of our adventures.
I'm Owen. I play Hex, the Warlock Warforged.
I'm Paul. I play Flint Frostbeard, a Dwarven Cleric Barbarian.
I'm Davinia. I play Greatlin, better known as Great, although small in size as a dwarf.
My name is Celine. I play Cree Rare, the Arakorka Druid. Blech. She's got a lot of tongue twisters in her name. She's still a bit sour of her encounter with the succubus last session.
Yes, unfortunately, for those of you watching at home, her health that you saw there is actually half down. We'll be updating that next session. So whenever you see her health at 51, it's actually 25. Because succubus actually sucked the life literally out of
He
her.
gave me a nice little kiss.
On the beak with a bit of...
On the beak, yes.
Who did the whole smooching thing last time? The whole...
So wait, the fact that we're going to change it next session implies that it's not going to be fixed by this session.
Yes, unfortunately, yes, the editing team didn't fix it in time.
No, the health won't be fixed by this session.
Oh yes, for sure.
Neither by next session. Probably.
So, last we left off, you were all at the center. We had Augustine who had went to fetch some goods, but it was late at night, and as you were trying to see where you were going to stay, he just made it back in time, breathless, saying, "I'm here. All right, we can go." And I'll leave the stage up to you guys.
So, So, I arrive up around where everyone is.
Yep.
I point to Hex instantly. Hex, I've got so much to tell you, and you're gonna love it. But do I see his imp on his shoulder? Yeah.
Yes, she had come back, so yeah.
Okay. Do I see him? But yeah, it's like.
So Agaris is currently out on your shoulder. Just that's what I think we need.
Yes.
Okay.
You're gonna love it, but I'm not going to speak to you while that shaitan is sitting on your shoulder.
Well, she can leave at some point, then we can talk.
No problem. Leave it to me.
Maybe leave it to me. I'll tell her to leave.
It's okay, no problem. I've been thinking about this, going over and over and over in my head, but I think I have an idea of what's going on. A small idea.
That's good. Maybe we should talk somewhere inside, like your place.
Sure, why not? Why not? It's like,
I'm not trying to, come on to you.
no,
get me
don't
wrong,
worry
I
about it.
mean,
Don't worry. I invited you there. It's okay. It's okay. Like, I'm a little frazzled. But okay, let's go to my place. I didn't buy groceries, did I? We'll make do with what I have. Leave it to me.
All right, so you actually lead them to your quarters. Describe to me what your quarters actually
Okay,
look like.
it's a very dusty, small studio apartment. Okay, it's very clearly hasn't been lived in about 6 months.
Well, you've been away. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been away for a while. Like, it's very clear, like in a bad part of town, but the landlady is pretty suggestible. Let's say that. So there's that thing about rent. So don't ask me about rent. Okay. So we can walk in. There's when we walk in, there's the thurible on the shelf there. Very important to at least 5 different Eastern religions. Don't break it. It's the only expensive thing I have in this house. So I take them to the kitchen where I have the table. It's like,
Is it like an open layout and just?
yeah.
All right.
Okay,
One
so-
bed.
Uh-huh.
One bed.
No, there's like a small bedroom, like a giant, like a really big bed, but that's about it. That's like the only comfort I have. Just the bed.
All
It's
right.
like, that's the only source of comfort that I have.
All right. So as you kind of look around, you kind of do that thing where you
It's like,
go like,
sit-
oh, God.
Sit
Yeah.
on down. Okay, so I rummage through the shelves and I find a box of nails.
we came for food, right?
It's like a box of nails.
I think he's assuming that's what you eat, Hex.
Yeah, that's literally it.
assumption.
There's literally it. I put it in front of her, so like I don't know.
I see.
Do you
Well,
eat
you
anything?
try.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
It's like for the rest of you, okay, I have preserved fruit. I have certainly preserved meat somewhere in here, and tea. Now, I got this tea from a tribe of the dragon kind, so if it tastes a little weird, don't blame me, okay? Blame them. And I there's like, those like little containers with like which you put the tea bags in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's very clearly not been used in like half a year or so. So it's like, if it tastes a little weird, blame them, okay? I can't roll deception on that, right?
Mhm.
It's not like
You
it's
could
not
definitely.
I
yeah.
can roll deception on that. So let's see if you guys
I guess
believe.
that means we all have to roll against.
If, well, it depends. You could either decide to accept what he says if he gets a good roll,
Yeah.
or it's kind of obvious that he's lying. Or if you actually want to have a deeper insight, you can definitely.
What's my deception check here? Okay, it's okay, charisma. So that's +4 +3. That's +7. 16 +7. So that's
23.
23.
Oh yeah, you definitely said it.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's like okay.
Even your whole like running around your own messy apartment, dusty messy apartment, it helps, kind of go into the whole, describing the thing while you look busy, so it definitely doesn't show
It's
that.
like it's just old tea bags, like literally nothing special about them, but they taste weird, so I'm assuming. So I'm hoping you guys can tell. So I prepare everything. It's like salt. You can salt and pepper it. Don't put in milk. Don't put milk into it. I am not liable for anything that happens if you put milk into it.
You're not used to hosting people, are you? Usually.
I'm not exactly someone who lives here a lot, as you might imagine.
Augustine lad, I've been in worse places, don't you worry.
Oh, I appreciate that, Flynn. Finally, someone who's grateful in this house.
Would you like
Oh,
a
we
nail?
are grateful. That's an observation.
Sit in your chair. It's full of grain.
Augustine, here are your nails.
Fantastic, don't frost them. Okay, and I set up as much as I can of all the food that I have.
I will nibble on dried fruit.
The night is dark. It's getting late, but you all have something very important to discuss.
And what that is, someone's going to say.
So apparently we've been drafted to go on a civil war against I forgot the name of the place. Hex, can you help me out here?
What if I could?
Well,
Memory banks are a bit fuzzy. I'm very sorry.
Wait a second. Wait a second. You're going to war against one of the southern towns?
Yes, this could be our last meal.
Huh?
Westgate.
Oh yeah, Westgate,
Oh,
the
you're
town in the
there
south.
as well.
I see it now.
It
Okay.
was the most convenient way to get them both off our back and also get good company to go south.
That is actually a good idea.
Yes.
There is one issue that they have a god on their side, but I'm not
Oh, trust me, you're gonna find out.
really.
But not with that little devil on his shoulder.
Agares, would you please leave for the night? We'll call you back in the morning.
It's like I have a choice. And he just kind of just whips out.
There.
Okay, first of all, so I will not speak in front of that creature because I am fully convinced, and I assume you know it as well, that at the very core of this entire conspiracy that we've involved ourselves in, at the very center is that big old fellow, which I refuse to name.
Right.
Now, I understand from my research, effectively speaking, that, and this is, I assure you, completely insane. This is not academic, and if I had to report this to any of my superiors, I will be fired instantly and put into a mental institution, and rightfully so. But hear me out. Hear me out. So, Orcus waxes and wanes in power at around the period of the blood moon. You might be familiar with that period. It's a lunar eclipse. Now, a lunar eclipse seems to be coming up soon enough. Why? The Withering cult, founded pressa poco. The idea is you have this cult ready, intended to bring Orcus onto this earth. Now, I could find no references into this cult on my in my research, which means two things: either they're very well hidden, which, given the kind of grand moves they've been doing, I refuse to believe they're capable of doing that, and more importantly, that they're very recent, and therefore they've accumulated power very quickly, and the blood moon is very soon. This ties into this is a gap which I have here. So, Creer,
Yes!
You said it right.
oh my god. Okay,
You
Creer.
have to be under pressure to say your name right.
Okay, Creer, the necklace that Creer is looking for. Now, it's important. Why? Something to do with with Orcus's power in that necklace. I assume that some people here are trying to bring Orcus back. I've been saying that creature's name 3 times already.
More.
But he promised he wouldn't.
And he said he didn't want to mention him.
Yes.
And of course, the creature's name has been said several times. Now, the necklace is tied to the creature, therefore there's an object of power on that creature. Second of all, you, Hex, are of vital importance.
Oh, that's nice.
So,
Why?
Can I just take a quick note? Sorry to interrupt. Who has the crystal lost? Was it Flint or was it
Flint.
Great Flint, right?
now, I imagine that there is something directly in contact with your nature as a Warforged.
Right.
Specifically because you as a Warforged have been created with the intercession of Orcus. Now,
But do we know that for sure?
I can't tell you that for sure. However, it seems to me like all of the magical artifacts here are tied to Orcus, and specifically the creature, and specifically the fact that your little shaitan, which is why I don't want to speak to it, has been very antsy every time we discuss these artifacts,
Right.
to a degree where I'm starting to guess, especially considering how the little creature is very clearly does not want you to know certain information,
Mm-hmm.
even though it's very clearly not very good at keeping you from it.
No.
So that puts you at a central piece. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if there's an artifact tied with your nature as a warforged, and I'll tell you why. Because that little cat fellow that we met, Cecil,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
now, it implies to me that there is yet another warforged of your ilk, similar demon companion, going to the Dragon's Tooth Isles
Mm-hmm.
with a similar quest in mind.
Possibly.
Likely. Why? Because I wouldn't be surprised that there's also a group in tandem with them, known as the, my god, what was their name again? The Hunters, the Knowledge Ones.
The Watchers?
The Watchers. The Watchers. The Watchers are, to give you an idea, they're a secret organization of nerds, effectively speaking.
I see.
They're a bit like me, except well paid,
Mm-hmm.
actually do important work, and very secretive. Now, what's important about them is that, like me,
Mhm.
they have had a vital book of power taken from them by another one of the creature's servants, which implies to me that we are both chasing effectively the same situation.
Mm-hmm.
If so many ties to the Withering Cult, so many ties to the same books of power, which by the way there are several of, so
Mhm.
God only knows what will happen if they collect all of them. So
Right.
there's that connection that I'm thinking of,
Mm-hmm.
and you must be involved in it somehow, whether it is with your knowledge or not.
Well, I can assure you it's not. But do you have proof?
Definitive proof?
Any proof?
You know what
Or
I'm, you know what I'm
otherwise.
imagining right now? You know that meme that with the crazy guy
With the
the
cork
strings?
board.
Yes, literally. Literally.
That's what I'm imagining Augustine right now going.
Augustine,
Because he did.
mentioning those books of power, the book you lost,
Yes.
that is particularly the book I've been looking for, I believe.
Oh, what are you gonna do with it? Straight up.
Well, it will help me find this amulet that I'm looking for.
Look. I'm gonna tell this to you straight.
Mhm.
Okay. This book has given me sleepless nights
Mhm.
for several days now, several months now. Okay. Now, if something happens to that book, okay. Let's say something happens to that book, and it completely disappears from my attention for the rest of my life. All yours. All yours.
Okay.
I am.
Where did you last have it in your possession?
So, deep in the southeast of the land, I was I was diving through tombs specifically for it. Why? I found a reference in that library because that book is incredible. It's an anthology of poems from a time long gone, okay? And it's not like we have samples of them, right, nowadays, but they're like written on like normal paper, with normal ink, you know. No, this is the real stuff. This is magical. That book has things in it that can severely unbalance the world.
What's the name of the book, please?
My edition was the Book of Life. Now there are several versions of them, with different. Keep in mind it's an anthology, and there are different editions, different sections. The Watchers had a different version of it. Presumably, there's about a set amount of them.
So there's many books of life?
They're all named different things. You have to understand. Publishers' rights back then, they were crazy.
Oh, so you're just high on copy.
Really seems like it, doesn't it?
Well,
What was that?
Really seems like it, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. I mean, trust me. Like,
Speaking from myself, I guess. I can vouch for this book of life that it exists, as it is something that holds true to Luna's amulet, which is what I am seeking.
Yes, and
And ironically, the southern east tombs are where I need to go to rid myself of this curse.
I imagine that it's being taken there right now again. Because keep in mind, I lifted it from a tomb there. I carried it several places across, up to the north. It was stolen from me. I chased it to the south up until it was lost, and then I made my way back north again, where fundamentally I've arrived now.
So technically, it's like the book wants to go home.
No. The book has no volition of its own. It was stolen from me. I was an idiot. That's why I walk in drunk into the bar, because I know I lost an object of incredibly powerful qualities, and I managed to lose it.
Well, at least everything seems to be connected.
Yes.
So
Now, I know it's vital to Luna. However, as much as I appreciate the fact that you're a druid, lovely person, you must do like a lot better to the world than I do. But as of right now, it's a little antsy because I'm not fully ready to give it over to you yet. I've known you for a couple days now, so like.
I don't
And he
expect
only-
you to just give it to me.
Great.
Yeah, he only just got your name right once.
Yeah, first time I got. Great.
You did just say you want to get rid of the book, though, correct?
Yeah, but not by giving it directly to her.
So if she
He
takes
prefers
it
it
out
to-
of your hand when you're looking away,
I'm not really
He
fully
prefers
ready
it
to
to
give
be
it to
stolen,
anyone.
clearly.
We're talking a tactical nuke. This is a nuke of a book.
I just want information on this amulet that I'm seeking. I don't want the book itself.
you can read the book in his
You can
presence.
That's fine.
Exactly.
We can put it in a museum. It belongs in a museum.
Well, first we have to find it, and I think going to the southern tombs along with this war band is a good option.
Question.
Lots of distractions to keep away from us.
The question is, what does the amulet that you are seeking, how does it fit in all this? Is it going to rid you from the curse, or is it going to create something?
No, the amulet is very sacred to my craft and the history of Druidic.
So it has nothing to do with the blood curse.
Not that I'm aware of. But I need to find tablets which are in the tombs and hand them over to Mortius, which will then rid me of the curse.
Okay.
It just happens that everything is ending up in the same location.
So you can say it's two birds with one stone?
Hilarious. Haven't heard that one in
5 minutes?
yeah.
Take
What
notes.
time do we need to meet the others tomorrow
Excuse me?
to travel south?
I think you said in the morning, right?
Yes, we're going to meet up in the place where he talked to us
Yes.
Okay.
That was the
before
the park, right?
sunrise.
Yeah, it was at the park.
Before sunrise. That's going to set a bit of a problem. You see, Kree, I needed to go to check a merchant about a necklace I am looking for, and I was going to ask you to accompany me. Maybe they might have your necklace there.
I doubt they'll have mine, but I did say we would go. So I'm not sure how that will work.
Do I know any good stable boy? Like as a matter of like.
Depends. What's Augustine's history?
I mean,
Do
David
you
in
have
that sense.
do you have streetwise?
Huh?
Do you have streetwise?
What do you mean streetwise? As the feet or the quality?
Is it still a thing? Sorry.
Huh?
Is streetwise was a thing? I'm so.
No, I'm sage. Best I can do is librarians. So I don't think I have streetwise.
All right. Just give me a intelligence check, just
Oh,
so
boy.
to see if you have any.
13 plus 2, that's 15.
15. Well, you know of a stable boy.
Mm-hmm.
Not exactly the brightest of the lot. He's had many cases where horses went missing under his watch. And it's not the first time that he would feed them horseradish because he thinks, because the horse is a name, it belongs to horses.
Do I know his name?
His name is Samael.
Samael.
Yes.
Okay. So, you two.
Sorry.
It's okay. I do that to horses too.
It's like, okay. You two. Okay, so I have an idea. I know a guy. Okay, not very smart. His name is Samael. Stables. What's the place called? Let's come up. What's the stable name called?
It's just the normal Norns Alliance stables. So.
Okay, so there's a stable boy in the Norns Alliance sort of area where the Spears of Norn sort of rest in. Stables there. You have an idea.
Okay.
So there's a guy, Samael. He isn't very smart. You can literally just go there and loan horses off of them for like a really cheap price.
Or I could just turn myself into a horse if we need to catch up.
Alright.
He does have a point, lad.
Alright, I forgot.
Huh.
I'd rather not cause any more disturbance or draw any more attention towards us.
That's understandable.
And the fact that he is saying himself he's not the brightest tool in the shed, I'm a bit weary of trusting someone to help us out with no brains.
Hell, I've taken horses from him before. Sometimes I've returned them. It'll be fine.
Sometimes.
I am not. Drink your tea. Pepper and salted. Pepper and salted.
Pepper and literally the first note I put in today is Augustine is crazy? Question mark.
I mean, talk about putting sugar in your tea, but pepper and salt.
Pepper and salt, yeah.
Salt just makes it worse.
I told you, don't talk to me about it. Blame the dragons. So, but yeah, it's basically. Do I have any evidence for any of this? I have no evidence whatsoever. Source, just trust me, bro.
I will do just that.
All of a sudden, you just hear that the wind outside is starting to pick up, getting a bit more violent than normal. So much so that if you do have windows, they kind of just burst off the lock and they just start rattling.
I can't afford windows.
Can everyone give me a... You can't afford windows?
I can't afford windows.
Alright, so your door actually just bursts open in that case.
Oh god.
With the wind, and it's just kind of just on its hinges going... Would your thing be kind of out in this main street? Is it like on a top floor? I just want to get an idea, so when I give...
I'm thinking like maybe maybe like 7th floor of a tall building.
Seventh floor.
7 floors back in then, no. It would be like 2 or 3.
No. Trust me.
So
Back then they existed,
Okay.
and they were a health hazard.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're...
In the
Okay.
past,
He's in a
like-
slum.
Right, so you actually feel the whole building shake now. True.
Yeah.
Cool.
This is fine.
So,
This is safe.
but you do have access to the out open air in
Yeah.
a way, with the door, give me everyone a perception check, whoever decides to look out of the door. Let's put it like that.
Okay, look at that.
Anyone who gets above 15?
Perception I have.
Well, I got A15.
A15, okay.
17.
17,
20.
9.
20, cool. Alright, so those of you who got 15 and above,
Blame the tea.
you see like flashes of red bursts far in the sky, and it's getting like bigger and bigger.
Any
As the
sound?
sorry,
Any sound?
the wind is too strong to make out any other sounds, as it just gusts of wind just violently shake the building you're in, and the door just keeps slamming.
That has never happened while I've
Is
been
there a
living.
smell? I'm thinking this is ammunition going off. There would be a being military base. I would
There's what was your check?
17.
17. There is no smell. No, actually, this source of bursts of red is getting bigger and bigger and closer to the city.
Get out of my house. Get out of my
Does
house.
it look like
Get out.
being Flint, being ex-military?
Okay, do you kind of walk out or you stay in? That's the question.
No, as in, he would have, in the past, he would have seen, like,
Oh, you've never seen anything like this before.
this is not, okay.
This is weird.
Is there any way to tell if it's magic based?
No.
No. I am like very clearly yelling out, "Get out of my house! Get out of my house!" This doesn't normally happen. I grab all of my things. I grab a picnic basket as soon as I can. I start shoveling everything I put on the table into the basket. It's like I prepared this for a reason.
So basically, just so you understand, so everything's shaking, right?
Yeah.
The whole wind is just blowing. This thing from the sky, whoever is paying attention to it, is just growing and growing. All of a sudden, you hear this loud screech, right, in the air, as it passes right over you.
Dragon.
It was a dragon. The winds eventually calm down. Everything is quiet, except for a couple of people that run out in panic.
The thurible. Is that expensive thing I have on the shelf? Did the wind knock it down?
Yes, priorities.
I mean, the picnic basket,
No,
don't forget.
actually.
The thurible is fine.
But do you actually check it? So you just looked up to see if it fell or not. So
Yeah,
it
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
fall.
Yeah, okay then.
It survived the whole shake. You didn't-
I put it down to the low shelf.
I'm surprised
As you kind of
picked
pull
the
it
picnic
down,
basket
you
and not
feel
down.
at the edge of your tongue that there was a crack on the back where it might have hit the wood.
Oh, this is at least heresy in some places. I put it down and I just don't look at it.
This is nighttime, right?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
If I look out the window
Uh-huh.
and just around, do I notice any commotion? Are people?
Yeah, there are people
noticing?
just kind of out, you know, in their night outfits. They're looking up, like discussing between them this hush thing. Like, what was that? So there is a bit of commotion. Not too many people out, but you know, there's. I would like just on the kind of natural count would be like something around 23 people scattered out of their own houses
Alright.
and buildings.
And once the dragon has passed, have we all realized it was a dragon?
No, it seems like a lot of people are very confused as to what they saw. But the people, you guys with the highest perception of 15 and above have seen. The rest of you who've got lower have no idea what the fuck that was.
Okay.
That
What was that?
was a very interesting weather phenomenon.
Looked like a dragon.
Dragon? Is it normal that there's dragons around here?
I have no idea. I just saw one.
You don't see them very.
So, Augustine, can you give me a quick history check, please?
Okay, so my history is.
Where? What direction
Okay.
was it headed?
My history.
Towards us and then over us, right?
Yeah, so basically, if you kind of get your bearings right, what was your
Five,
roll?
15.
15, exactly. You would say it's heading towards like southish section of the
Okay.
land. What was your roll?
15.
15 is your roll.
Uh, 15 plus. Yes, 15.
15. So basically, you do know that dragons should have been extinct a long, long time ago. So seeing one out in the open like this is a like major phenomenon. Like dragons have not been seen for thousands of years. Actually, people think they're just legends, non-existent.
Okay, okay, guys. Now I'm gonna have to trust me on this. I've been saying this a lot today, but trust me on this. That was a dragon. I know it sounds weird, but I'm quite certain that was a dragon.
Do you know what kind of dragon?
It was big. It was red. I imagine it was a dragon. That's all I know. It's
So
look.
you
It's
tell us to
children.
trust you it's a dragon, but you're now imagining it's a dragon.
To be fair, I did also see it. It did look like a dragon. I can't confirm,
It's-
of course.
Look, it's children's tales, okay? This is complete legend. But to be honest, when you see it, it really does look like a dragon.
So what? Looks like a dragon, flies like a dragon, so it's a dragon?
Yeah, that's pretty much the syllogism I
Essentially,
use.
Would,
That's the syllogism.
would I
use.
be able to do any checks with my knowledge as a druid to see if I know anything?
Yeah, you could give me a history check. If you
17.
17. So, legend has it, you have a bit more knowledge about it. Legend has it that the last dragon flew from the south, the X lands. And basically, it is so said that the last dragon that traveled to the north had died a long, long time ago with its rider. So, it is technically impossible for there to be another dragon living anywhere. Or so, it's been said. But according to what you've studied as a druid, dragons don't exist in this day and age.
And the dragon was flying south.
Seems like it.
Going south. Is going south or flying from the south?
It's flying to the south.
To the south, that's what I meant.
To my knowledge, the last dragon and its rider flew from beyond the southern reaches that we know about to the north and died there. In all my studies, they should all be dead.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
But
Still look
I
like
don't-
a dragon.
I won't doubt you, as I did not see anything with my own eyes.
As a commotion between people outside is starting to unravel as neighbors are to talk to each other just to kind of confirm what happened. All of a sudden you see once again armored individuals walking down, one of them carrying a large bell. Ding, ding, okay, back inside. It was just a gust of wind, winter's coming and all that. It's to be expected. Inside, no more commotion.
These are lawn gardens.
Yes. There are 3 of them traveling down as they're trying to get people to walk back inside. A lot of them just comply, they don't question, they just head back into their homes. Lights snuff out immediately as they walk down the
That's a lot
street.
less police violence than I'm used to.
Maybe because we're still inside.
Yep. Close the door. I go up and I close the door. It's like,
We can't hear it anymore, right? At all.
I think it's best we rest
head hurts.
and we think about things tomorrow.
Right.
It's like, rest. What time is it? Because we need
It's
to be
late
early
into
up.
the night.
We need to be early up for the.
So we have just enough time to sleep for a bit.
Mhm.
I mean,
You maybe have about 4 hours before sun starts to rise from the horizon.
Mhm.
That's enough for me. Perfect.
Oh.
So there's not even a lot of stuff.
before we sleep, I mean, if it really is a dragon, let's hope it's not really the power of Sylvanus.
The
What? The what?
what? Yeah.
Yeah, the god Sylvanus.
And at that, we're going to
Another
go for a
one?
quick break. And we're back. Our adventurers have gone to sleep after quite a big headache from Augustine's long narration of his mad connection of the dots, but can't prove it. And an incident of a possible dragon flying over the city, heading south. Well, we also left off with quite a weird mention from Shalky about some god Sylvanus. I leave the floor to you. Spotlight's on you guys.
Care to explain?
Oh, so Sylvanus, when I grew up, the only time I really knew my parents, it's more, they were always talking about Sylvanus and how great it would be and how they just always speak really highly of it, so I see it that today I saw it as their bud. So that's all I know. However, if something very mysterious is happening, I might as well just associate it with that.
Ah, okay. So your proof is you know of a dragon, so it could be this dragon.
Sure.
Okay.
And I think that proves that we need rest.
I don't know who's crazier at this point.
I have a few ideas. But
I need some sleep. I haven't slept in days, I think. How long have we been off that boat?
I think you need to drink more tea and less
Yeah.
coffee.
It's like, I opened the door to the bedroom. It's completely like, it's actually the cleanest room in the entire house because there's like almost nothing there. It's male living spaces, okay? Like just a bed. It's like, make yourselves comfortable. I'll sleep on the table, and I'll go on. Like, and I'll wait until you guys leave, and then I'll sleep under the table.
midway through the conversation, I've already shut down and slept.
All right, so compressing time, the morn arises, sun starts to peer off. Hex, you're the first to awake by this. The others seem deep in their sleep. You do notice that there is an owl looking at you from an open door. It's on the ground. As you kind of make eye contact with it, it immediately just kind of flutters away.
Strange. I'm not going to follow it.
Okay.
Is everyone still asleep?
Yeah?
Sure.
Well,
Actually, that's a good idea. I nudge something to make some noise. That wakes a few of them up. Just move the table a bit.
Right.
Is anyone else awake?
Well, I guess we have to roll to see if we hear you. Since we're in deep sleep.
You do actually have to roll to hear them. What?
It's up to you if you want to wake up from it or not.
I'm gonna roll. Just to say I roll.
Can I say I woke up?
Yeah, you could. You could just say you woke up.
Say you woke up.
I woke
You don't need. You don't need to oppose it. I mean, if you feel your character wouldn't, then you
My
can.
character would at this point, yeah.
We can flip the table over. Okay.
You're awake. Good. Hope I didn't wake you.
Yeah, I think you did, but I mean, it's about time to wake up.
It is, right? Yes, good.
Let's hope we're not late.
No. Go wake the rest. Go wake the rest. They're waiting for you.
I've woken up.
Ah, okay.
I was perched not too far away.
Have you woken up yet?
Yeah, I'm waking up.
Okay.
And then you just hear, ah! I shouldn't have slept under the table.
Our host wakens.
Okay, and I get out.
Good morning, Augustine.
Good morning. How's it going? That was a weird night.
You hear the door creak open. A big lady, human, stands at the doorway, owl on her shoulder. Oh, so you're finally back.
Oh, that's Niall. How's the
And
how's-
you're having guests over, or are they actually sleeping here too?
To be quite honest, I don't think
You've been
they're
missing for months. Where's my rent?
Where's your rent?
Where's my rent?
So, like, let me explain. So basically,
I need to hear ching ching coin, Augustine.
It's the dragon. The dragon flew and stole his money.
What dragon? What are you talking about? You've been doing mushrooms again.
no, she's been doing mushrooms. Okay, you know the spirits of Norn. You know how they treat us. They did not pay me.
I mean, but he did give us this very weird tea. Apparently, it's by some dragon tribe people.
Right, pack your things, you're out.
What things?
Even better,
I
just
hand you the
get
box
out.
of nails.
Augustine,
And your priceless thing that was hanging on the wall.
Yeah,
all of you, out, out.
look.
I have people ready to pay for this. Out. No, I'm not looking, Augustine. Out.
Done. I can't like roll some
Suggestion.
Persuasion.
persuade. Can I roll persuasion to see like if I can convince her to extend the rent until the next time I'm here?
You could.
It's like no. You know how little they pay us there, okay? And they don't pay us on time. The wage is probably gonna come in a couple months because that's what they love doing there. Okay, so I'm going to go straight there to the accounting office and I'm gonna tell them send them directly to your address.
The suspense.
17 plus
I don't
4
know.
plus that's plus 7, that's 24.
If it wasn't for the fact that you work for the Norns, I would have just grabbed you myself and thrown you out.
Thank you. I appreciate you so much.
I expect 6 months worth then.
You're gonna get 12 months worth.
A whole year is even better up front.
Eventually.
Right. I got my eye on you.
I know.
And you'll get it next year.
Okay. Right, and she moves on to the next. You hear her knock on the. All right, get out of here.
Was it the same owl that I saw?
Yes, it's the same owl.
alright.
So anyway, I think we need to move before she changes her mind.
Well, we need to move anyway.
We're not in danger.
Yeah.
But we can.
I have a feeling that things are really gonna go south.
Well, apparently we're all
Those
going
things
south.
are us.
We're all
Anyone
going
heard the
south.
through there?
That was a good night. Like that was crazy. Last night I think I thought I saw a dragon. That was crazy.
No, that happened.
You did, lad.
I to be honest, now that I think about it, I think I was wrong.
Mm,
Well, Sharky seems to think it's the dragon his parents used to talk about.
I never said that it's the same dragon. I just
what color
Assumed
was
so.
that dragon?
yeah, I assume because the general said that we're going to go against civil war against Westgate and Sylvanus, and I mean they spoke so highly of him. I assume that he's a god at this point.
The dragon is the god?
I don't know.
This gets more and more confusing.
I think it's best we start moving
Yeah.
before we end up stuck in another conversation.
I put all my food. I get the picnic basket from last night.
But like everything's just topsy turvy.
Like
All right. So where do you head to?
I assume
The park, right? We
Yeah.
said we're going to meet them.
All right. So as you get there, you already start to see basically a minimum size armada already starting to form at the center. Basically, it's kind of a grid setup of like 5x4, and there's like 9 of them. You can see Sir Conrad on his horse walking kind of down from them. You do see a certain someone that you know.
Captain Potts.
No?
Lord Bennett?
Yeah.
Ah.
As he's talking to another individual, seems high ranked, probably another general, and with a board and kind of listing down and pointing at some of the soldiers. As he kind of does that, there's another kind of like a squire. He kind of points at him and does a couple of gestures, and he goes and runs and he kind of repositions people in different sections as more soldiers are starting to come and file down into their own section.
Has he noticed us?
No, he hasn't noticed you.
Do we avoid him? It seems a bit dangerous to just walk up to him.
I mean,
Well, it will bring him out into light if we did. Or
Fellas!
at least a backstep.
Oh, no.
You hear a voice call to you, and you see Sir Conrad actually throttling on his horse slowly towards you. I'm glad you made it. I thought you wouldn't wake after last night's wind. Did it wake you?
Yes, the wind.
Yes.
Horrible.
In fact, we're missing quite a few because of that. They slept in, but this is a voluntary thing, so it's not a must. I'm glad to see you here. I see you brought company as well. The two, the druid and your lady friend here from last night, I see.
They might be joining us later, though, correct?
Well, they're not uniformed, so I'm afraid they're going to have to still, if they are going to join us, they're going to have to join the ranks further behind with the rest of the fellow merchants and whoever's going to travel with us.
Aye, lad, I think that's a good idea. I think we should send them off to get changed.
Fair enough. If they are your property, sure, do as you will with them.
Property?
The people or the clothes?
I'm not liking this.
I'm talking about your druid and your...
Excuse
Oh,
me,
they're
we're
just
no
friends.
one's
Does someone
property.
own them?
No one owns us. We are our own will, and we are here to travel south with you lot.
So you're basically getting a free pass ride with us? Is that what you're
No.
saying?
We are getting help.
And how is...
I mean, they did fight by our side
I mean,
before.
it's
so.
a druid.
Fighters! Alright.
And a fighter.
Okay. Furbolg makes sense, so does the Warforge. Alrighty then, find yourself. You might want to see where Bennett is going to be putting you. And he kind of... and turns the horse round.
I mean, do you know where we should go? Do we really need to bother Lord Bennett with this?
He is the one, as like you see him from the back, he is the one dealing with this part, yes.
I proceed to walk towards Lord Bennett, like really chest out, like couldn't give a fuck.
Oh no.
You'll accompany, so maybe
Why
just
are
looks
you
more
so
intimidating.
worried about this Bennett?
He sees something moving and he kind of looks over his clipboard and
This is going to
You've
be
survived.
interesting, I think.
Lord Bennett, pleased to meet ya. And I salute him.
right,
Like at the top of my voice, like I am making a real show out of this.
right.
And my flies are still as a whole pack, as you can see.
Like I want to see if he's gonna play the facade or if he's going to undertone
Good
it.
I get the feeling they already
Flint.
made
Yeah.
Right. Wasn't expecting you here. Well, let's see where we're gonna put you in the regiment. I would say we put you up front instead of that fellow right there. So, boy, get good old dwarf and Flint here up front. He's a good strategist. We might need him. Shalky, you're on the back. And Hex, is it Hex? Am I missing something?
The dash between the H and the E?
Right, let's get it right. Hex. I have a special thing for you.
Oh, I'm glad.
Get Samael. And make sure he gets his finest, toughest horse. He's a bit heavy, this one. Augustine, reporting to duty. How was your journeys in the Far East?
Very successful. I mean, I've sourced a couple books for the library. Pretty good.
Right. I do have something important. We want to make history out of this. Make sure that no one falls in the same fate of Westgate to come, So here's an upfront payment, and he just kind of reaches into his robe and stretches out a bag that looks quite heavy with coin. I want you to make sure that history is narrated the way we want it to be narrated here in Aegis.
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. They just
Here's your
come in.
first. The minute you kind of pick it up, immediately you just feel the weight of coin in your hands. Right.
Lord Bennett just paid my rent.
Very well.
Yeah, true.
We just had that.
We'll be waiting another hour, and we'll see what we have, and we'll march.
From the good side
With
of the
that,
history.
I go, aye, Lord Bennett. I nudge whoever's next to me out of these two and say, now's your time to run. Go.
One way.
You're a market.
Ah.
Well, since the merchants are going to be following this group, we might as well check there before heading to the actual merchant.
We could check, see, have a look around.
Okay.
By any chance, the two people we overheard talking the previous day, are they anywhere in sight? No.
So,
Off to the merchant.
off to the merchants.
Mm-hmm.
As you kind of get your bearings, dark versus light streets looks a bit different. They're a bit more full as people seem to crowd to see the Great Armada being set. Give me a quick intelligence roll.
18.
15.
All right. Great. You do find your bearings quite quick, and you find merchants already setting up much more than there was the day before. Well, at least the night prior. As you kind of make your way through, people looking and bargaining, you have different smells in the air of fish and then rotting meat. A lot of commotion going on. Are you looking for the same merchant?
I'm looking for the same merchant, but keeping an eye out for anyone who's selling anything precious. at
Give me a
the same
perception
time.
check.
14 plus 4, 18.
18. You can automatically see the merchant just showing his wares to one of the finer dressed ladies with, the fans, as he's trying to sell them, and they're giggling as he seemed to be a bit flirtatious. Other than that, there doesn't seem to be any other merchants per se selling any same value of wares and jewelry. There's a couple that are just selling basic stuff. He seems to be the more high-end
Okay.
from the lot.
This is the merchant I spoke to yesterday, right there. Shall we go and have a look and see what maybe has on show?
Yeah.
So we make our way to the merchant.
All right. You hear him, ladies. As you can see, this would pretty much, due to the size of the stone, your breast would accompany it and grab men's attention. And they're kind of giggling because it's and let's see. Oh yeah, he does spot you immediately. He's like, you have come. Please allow me to conclude business, if you will, my dear. What do you say? 25 pieces of gold? And the lady immediately reaches to her purse and pays him. It's like, yes, you will find it will have such magical properties for attraction. As they giggle away and move, leaving you space.
Good morning, you lad. I'm the different voice now.
All right, good morning.
I'm just.
I see you're back.
Just roll with it. So, do you have anything from what I showed you last time, or more like what I was looking to on last time?
Well, it was only last night that we have met, my dear.
Well, yes, but time has different meaning to many people.
For me, time is the same. Last night is last night. I am still waiting on my employer to give me further news. I sent the news immediately out this morning for
I
your
see.
specific.
So I came here, but there is nothing because you only sent it this morning, not last night.
I have nothing new that I can show you.
And when do you think you will have new stuff? Because we will make way to some other town soon.
I would believe it would be a couple of weeks before I can show you any new wares. Anything again you're looking for? Remind me. Memory is a bit foggy.
Something a bit goldish with a little, green gem, something.
Green gem. And we said that you do not want emeralds. Is that correct?
It is an emerald.
It is an emerald. I am sorry. I seem to have remembered you said you're not wanting emeralds specific, but I will keep a note of that as he takes his quill out. And who shall I address this once? What shall I call you, in other words?
You can call me Gret.
Great. As in what we do to cheese.
If that is how you pronounce it and it makes you remember, fine for me.
Right. Are you a cheese lady?
Cheese lady.
Yes.
Look, my origins is not an option for you to know as long as I pay.
I am just making small talk. I just like to know my customers.
I have brought a friend with me here. She
Ah.
as well is looking for something a bit precious.
I have this fine piece of stone as he kind of picks one of his items, a bit heavier than the others. And it's surrounded with a frame of silver. And as he shines it in the light, you can see it kind of does this rainbowish feel of green, blue, and as
The brother, right? God damn it,
it will show nicely with your shade of colors. What do you think? And it's only 30 gold.
Well, I'm not looking for something that aesthetic.
Perhaps too big for your sizes. He lies it down.
He puts it down, like.
Yeah, you hear the thud. Anything else specific you're looking
I would
for?
like a moment to browse.
Of course.
And because he said magical properties, I would like to sense
Yeah, go
if I
ahead.
feel anything.
Arcana check.
That's an 11. So
11. As you kind of hover over his, different jewels, semi-precious stones, so, precious stones, the closer you get to him, though, like he stands on one section next to Great, you do sense some magical properties.
Can I pinpoint if it's from him or the stones, or it's just in his general area?
I would allow another roll of arcane check since you're being
5.
you can't tell. Did you find anything you like?
Do you have anything perhaps hidden on your person which would be more intriguing?
I'm afraid what I have on display is what I have. And I mean, anything hidden is pretty much a copy of what you see. I make sure I have more than one item of the common type, of course. The more rarer stuff is just a unique.
The rarer stuff is near him.
Yes.
What kinds of magical properties do some of these have? These rarer items?
Well, I say magical to the ladies, maybe you heard. It is more of, how do you say, a selling gimmick. I'll be honest with you. Really and truly nothing magical about them. They are just very visually pleasing.
Well, then I am not in the market today. But thank you.
But I see you in the market. You are here. And I have not started drinking my wine yet.
It's a figure of speech.
I am yet to learn these customs. In the market, when you're in the market, but not in the market when you are in the market. Very confusing. Perhaps I should catch up a bit on my poetry and reading.
I know what
You make
could
me
help
more
you.
aware.
Perhaps I will bring him along next time.
I would be pleasured to meet such an individual of such class.
Is there anything, while you're talking, I'm browsing around, but is there anything of value that I might pick on?
Roll.
What am I rolling for?
Perception, of course. You're looking around, no?
7.
Looking for specific
11.
11. Seems pretty much a haze of stones, jewels and such. Nothing that catches your eye.
Well then, I guess you need to wait on your order to come in, and in the meantime,
Yeah, let's just make our way and meet up the others to travel as we have planned.
yes. Thank you for your time.
No problem. Godspeed, I hear you say travel. So yes, may the gods be with you wherever you go.
Thank you.
And he kind of
Maybe we find something precious there instead of here.
if such is the luck you find, then good for you.
Sink back into my feathers.
As he kind of just jolts up on the side of his caravan and he starts to, do his sales pitch. Ladies, look at fine wear, make you very beautiful. See what fits you and makes your eyes pop. Perhaps it's that lucky man, as he sees one of the ladies pop by and wink. Maybe it's that lucky man that you are trying to attract. This will complement your bust.
Sponsored by Titty Sparkle.
Not a real sponsor.
I guess we make our way to the party now again.
In the meantime, everyone's set up. It seems like only a few more soldiers joined from the Norns, Spears of Norn. Sorry. Norn is quite a man of example. We call it the Norns Alliance because we align ourselves with all of the West, as Sir Conrad speaks on his horse. Today we march to the south and give Westgate hell to remind them what the Norns Alliance is all about. We, the Spears of Norn, shall thrust our spears into their hearts, and forever shall they know what it means to bleed betrayal of that alliance. Come now, here, march! As immediately with the order, everyone just marches behind in their segments. As you two come back, you see a number of caravans and people just kind of a bit behind, ready to march with them. They're not anyone of the Norns Alliance nor military, but you can see like most of them, have goods, basically rations and the liking, medics and the sorts that are just a few feet away from the actual regime.
And we cannot kind of join the others since we don't have the uniforms.
Exactly. In the meantime, you see Hex trying to understand how to work a horse, as he's part of the cavalry in the front.
That's where I'm in station now?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're on the front lines with the cavalry. You do see another Warforge like 5 personnels away from you. And you recognize this Warforge from Blackgate. You don't know him per se, but you've seen the Warforge before.
Okay, I've seen him before, not since back then.
No, yeah.
Okay. Before you mentioned that, wait, this is my special assignment? Because didn't he tell him I have a
Yes, this is
a horse? I'm gonna die here at the front lines. He's all saying things. Just let it happen. Okay. I will not converse with the Warforged for now.
Okay.
But you said it's someone I recognize, but someone he's fought with, or just someone I know from the...
Oh yeah, you fought with him.
Okay, alright, cool.
So, as you all basically are marching out of the city, it takes a couple of hours to walk through. Everyone's kind of wishing you well. Some seem to be either family or actually direct wives and children crying their husbands that actually are going to this mission. Sir Conrad kind of stays back with his horse and comes in line with you because you're on the edge. Tell me, Warforged, you've fought in the Battle of Blackgate, yes?
Yes.
Right. Any strategic tips that we could perhaps use in such a battle? It's a surprise attack after all, but I'm pretty sure word will get out the closer we get.
I mean, this has been announced for some time now, yes? I'm pretty sure they've heard about it.
Well, we try to keep it hush-hush from traveling to other cities, but...
Right. And from where we are, we're going to hit the gates head on? Or will we be coming from the side?
that is... Well, it depends where we stance ourselves. I mean, we could go round and hit from another different direction, but I just wanted to hear your 2 cents about this.
Well, unfortunately, the way at least we worked, it was a bit different. The way we were thrown into battle wasn't simply as an army. We were sent in as small units.
Interesting.
We had gone in, we found ways into the cities without attracting attention and then completed our task. Fortunately, as you know, most of us exploded. So maybe we don't do that this time.
Explosions. Interesting. Something to think about.
No. I was, as in, let's not do the explosions thing.
We'll leave it as last resort, you say?
Maybe no result. Maybe no result. Like maybe I did not mention it. You know who you should speak to? Augustine. The man has so many ideas.
Can you give me a perception check to see if you actually heard this? Because you're quite close.
Now he rolled a 20.
That's 9 plus perception is wisdom plus 3. That's 12.
Oh yeah, you heard the mention of your name.
You just slow down to disappear.
Right. As the whole group exits the gate, you can already see that ballistas are set up, 3 of them, at the exit outside the city walls. Augustine, you've been approached by Sir Conrad now. Dear boy, as he lies down on his horse, coming down to eye level with you.
You're fantastic. You're here now. When you were doing your speech, now you said we will pierce their hearts or we will pierce their parts.
I believe the speech said pierce their hearts.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Thank you.
Right.
Yes,
Augustine,
thanks.
I do have a question
Yeah.
that was inspired by your dear friend
Yeah.
Hex. What would you say is the best strategic way without explosives? I mean, as you can see, I have ballistas ready, but he's saying that we shouldn't use them at any point.
With all due respect, sir.
Much due respect.
You're asking the worst person on strategy right now.
Should I ask you at a later stage? Because he's made it quite clear you are somewhat of an expert.
As I ride next to them, you can't tell because obviously you can't see him smile. He's a Warforged, but there's a huge smile as he just rides.
You know what? It's like no, I
Explosion, so cliche.
It's like here's a fantastic idea. Okay, explosions, especially if people are going into the place, I wouldn't recommend them. Okay, I heard it was in a book once. Don't do it. What I can recommend is that you talk to a good friend of mine, Flint Frostbeard.
There's a lot of passing around the torch here.
It's like yes, but you have to understand, I'm a scholar.
Indeed, that is, I think, why he suggested you. You know history better than anyone.
Yeah, and it's like,
We want to make sure, seeing that you're writing this in an epic way.
oh, don't worry, I've already finished half the first draft. Like, I'm assuming most of how the fight is going at this point. Like, you know,
Interesting.
it's like that's literally it. Like if you want the fight to go however you want, like if you want the fight to go exactly how you want it to go, I got it right here.
Interesting. Fair enough. Well, I'll see with Bennett first, because he's given me some particular information about Flint. But till then, we march on. Ha! You ride and walk further down south. It seems like the walk is never ending. A lot of people don't really talk. They're just to themselves marching. Eventually, you've walked to the point where it's already sundown. All right, we set camp here. Spread out, get comfortable. I want to make sure you're all fresh for a longer walk tomorrow. And you see everyone kind of putting down their gear and starting to find different spaces to set up their tents and such.
I suggest we find the others and camp
Yeah.
with them.
Maybe they'll know more of what is going to happen in the coming days.
So you go to find.
Yes, we're going.
Cool. Are you all kind of looking for each other?
Definitely. I mean,
Cool.
not staying alone there.
All right. Do you set up tent before, after? Just so I understand.
I don't set up tent.
You don't set up tent, right? Okay. Flint, Shalik.
What's the people around me doing?
They're all setting up their own tents. at
I'll
this
start
point,
setting
Yeah.
up my own tent as well.
Sorry.
I'll start setting up my own tent as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go find Flint.
From my pre-military days, I have a medic tattoo on my right shoulder. I've just conveniently rolled that up, so that's like showing.
It catches the eye of a particular individual, and he kind of gasps like, "Is that just for show, lad?
What is
That?
this?
That?
No.
So you're telling me that's real? You've been?
Aye, lad. It's a medic symbol. So basically, if anyone, like, my understanding was that anyone who needed a battlefield would see it, they would go medic, and I'm there. So I'm trying to like detour away from where I am at the moment, without moving.
I've seen that before.
Aye, lad. It's very common. Medics across the battlefield are a dime a dozen.
That's what it is, medic stuff. So you're the guy who's gonna be able to fix us up if things go south.
That should be the case, lad. Yes.
In that case, this is on me. And he kind of, from his satchel, he brings out a large sealed keg and breaks off the top. He's like, "Drink with me."
Aye, lad. And I rummage into my backpack and I get out 2 tubes. Will you join me? And I hand one to him.
What is this?
It will make you feel wonderful. And I take from
Medic,
his keg,
say.
pour it in, and drink without even asking questions.
Okay. Do you? Okay, all right. And he tries to copy you. Composure. Yeah, he'll come. All right. And downs his own portion. Whew. Wow. Is that like some good medic stuff you got there?
Aye, lad. Put hair in your chest and courage in your balls.
Longer than what I already got. As you see companions, Hex already finds you and he's seeing this thing, and the others kind of follow suit slowly. As what this substance you gave him is, what does it do to normal individuals who's not consumed it?
Good question. I don't actually know.
All right.
Yes.
How shall we put it? It's I guess it's a hallucinogenic, really.
So he's gonna start seeing shit.
Well, yes, potentially.
So he's looking down at his hands and he's like, oh.
But it's like, "Raw," like, you know,
Yeah.
he's literally getting the courage of
Yeah.
10,000 men behind.
He's actually, you don't see this, but what he's really envisioning, if we have to see it cinematically, he sees his hands grow bigger and his muscular.
like, "Raw."
I need this during the battle, lad. Remind me to look for you. I'm gonna test this out, and he just runs at the tree. Ah! Smacks it and just falls back unconscious.
I look at him, medic.
As you're looking for stuff, he just automatically one of those. That was exhilarating. What's your name, lad? I must remember you.
Flint Flassbeard. And I put my hand
Flint
out to-
Flassbeard. Good to meet you. He comes over and shakes your hand violently.
As he does that, I cast Healing Word on him in case he takes it down.
Yeah, you see the redness of the scratches of his face against the tree kind of just wished away with the magic. Right, I gotta see what else I can do. And he starts running around into the tree areas.
Before he runs up, I try to, if you allow me, I try and grab him like, lad, let's keep this between us. If everyone else gets wind of it, could you only imagine what happens?
Right, secret between two. Indeed. Off to testing I go. And he just runs off as all your companions gather around, probably questioning.
He's left the cake, hasn't
Strong
he?
pre-workout.
He's left the cake, but hasn't he?
Yeah, sorry?
He's left his cake.
Yes,
but-
yes.
Nice.
And I just pick it up and start handing it around.
You've made
You know, I'll
friends.
join shortly. I think I've finished setting up.
Okay.
As a marker, I'll leave my flies there, but
You see, give me a perception check actually before I say anything.
Who? Him?
14.
14. You did have a feeling someone is watching you from the group as they're setting up tents. As you kind of start to make way from the corner of your eye, you kind of already see him creating his own like swatter. and it just wait. He just looks like really like he doesn't look. He's trying to.
I'll approach him. So, what you making?
This, you know, night bugs, flies, stuff.
Flies?
Yeah, you know, they get quite pesty at night. Gotta be
so,
prepared.
Just a word of warning, those flies are with me. They will be asleep during the night. If you disturb them, I'll shoot an arrow in your eyes.
Make an intimidation check, brother.
11.
Arrows in my eyes. A couple would die before that. As he kind of sets it down and continues with his stuff.
It's sad that he's not very intimidating, short in stature compared, but
So-
I'll continue going towards the group. Sure, I'll think that I've solved the issue.
Right, so you all gather now.
So, have you made any friends or any enemies since we've been away?
I hand over the cake to you.
Well, definitely friends from your end.
So, am I joined with them?
Yes.
Or- There is a person who's creating something for insects. Hopefully, I got through to him and he won't go after mine, but we'll find out.
Who is he, Shalky? Show me.
I'll point to his general direction, and I don't think can I see him, or is it this far enough from the?
I think it's you can't even really see your tents. That's how far you're set
Okay,
apart
so
because
I'll
you're
just
from the
point.
back.
He's somewhere there in that area, but I mean, if you see a guy with a fly swatter, be sure to hit him for me.
Aye, lad. And I pull out, like as he says that, I go, aye, lad. Mimic a punch.
Okay.
So, do you have any news of what's happening tomorrow? Have you heard anything? where the party is moving to?
Honestly, no idea. Someone tried to stop me and ask for a plan. Half the time I'm not even sure why we're going here. So, I don't really have a plan.
We're
No.
just using them to head south.
Yes, but they're expecting things from us.
And why are they expecting things from you? I mean,
Is
You
it
seem to
we're
have
part
some-
of the army.
awkward interactions.
Yes.
As,
Wait a minute. You talk to someone above the army? Like about tactics? By any chance, did you recommend someone?
No.
I know I recommended someone and it's Flint. Did anyone talk to you?
No, lad.
Oh.
Should they?
I imagine if I recommended you.
Oh, have you been telling people to talk to someone?
Yeah.
Hmm. Shame on you. That's a horrible thing to do.
All right, you hear Conrad's from the near distant. I'm gonna need Augustine, Hex,
Oh.
Flint, and Jeffers, and who else? Right, we need you too, Samael. Come. You just see this little boy, statured man, like walking. All right, my tent.
I would like to turn into an owl and follow them.
Sure. As you make your way to the tent, you walk inside, and it's quite a large tent.
Okay.
A table has been already kind of set up with a map of the King's Lands, and he's there hunched over. He's like, all right, here's the strategic plan for our journey. We're a couple of days away from Dawnhaven. We're gonna pit stop there and just make sure that we have the right supplies and we restock if we need anything. That includes you guys. If you see that your men needs restocking of any sort, you make sure that they're restocked, because our next pit stop would have to be a couple of days later into Sylvanas. Once we reach Sylvanas, that's where we make more technical plans, tacticians, and the like, to see how we're going to approach the situation down at Westgate. Now, the problem with Sylvanas is that Sylvanas is actually neighboring to Westgate. Okay? So we'll be a bit too close to comfort to be talking strategy too long. In fact, I'm thinking we get a few days ahead of the army, get there, find shelter, and we actually start talking about strategies. And then we just inform the group once they're there to make our move. Everyone on board? Questions?
Yes.
Suggestions?
How far are we from Dawnhaven, you said?
Dawnhaven, I would say at the pace that we're going, we'll be arriving in 2 days.
2 days.
And lad, tell me, what's your plan for Westgate? Are you looking to siege them or draw them out?
I think if we can actually get them to surrender before we lay hands, that would be the ideal way. At least that would be the way Norn would have wanted it.
Ah, yes, bless.
Otherwise, we meet them with force. Bennett steps out from the shadows. I have a better plan, if you want to hear. As I said, I'm open. I would suggest that while we're at Dawnhaven, we call assistance of perhaps a few spies that we have in our network. Get the word ahead. Doesn't sound like a bad idea to me. What about you lads?
But what would they do?
They
Are we
would-
trying to get information, or are we trying to sabotage?
I would say sabotage.
Might not be a bad option, actually.
I would agree with that.
He smiles. I thought you would. Actually, I was thinking if we could, with all permission, Sir Conrad, assign Hex, Flint, maybe even Shaki to go ahead with this. They can ride all night. I know Hex can. He doesn't sleep. Sir Conrad looks a bit concerned that Bennett is taking too much of this lead. It's like, I liked your plan about sabotaging, and I thought you had your own people. But I mean, if they don't find any objections, and who's this Sharky?
A blue fellow, friend of ours. Very
Right.
good.
Augustine, I would say you would stay here, in that case, and keep the reports up.
In terms of reports, they're done. Here's the first draft, and I give them the report, like full the entire thing.
How many
now-
pages?
Huh?
How many pages have you written on the way?
Have I written on how many hours are we talking about here?
We're looking at a good 14 hours of walking. You
14 hours. So that's about with breaks. I think I put a good at least 20k words. I've got a little dissertation in there.
All right, so that's like 3 parchments back and forth.
Yeah,
Give or-
pretty
give
much.
or-
It's like so. Here's the first part of the reports. Now, I put an extended part.
Boy,
where
your
I-
handwriting is awful.
I know, but trust me, hand it to a copy editor. That's their job. Now,
Right.
I put my name as Janus Secundus there because.
That's what I thought it was Jonas, right?
Yep.
As in-
Don't put. I would prefer not having my actual name on that because I don't want to be proven wrong by most historians in the future. Trust me, this will be fine. Now, one thing, I put an extended portion where I describe what you smell like. This is normal in histories of this type. Basically, how good you smell is an indicator of moral character. So I put you as smelling as lavender. If you don't like it, tell the copy editor to change it to something else.
I probably will. Lavender's quite a feminine smell.
That's why we got copy editors.
So Conrad, as you can see, Augustine can get us into the finest of places.
I must say.
I boldly recommend he joins us.
Well, seeing that he's already kind of drafted something that hasn't happened yet, I would say, sure, maybe he gets a bit more creative. I don't know. I mean, this is Sir Bennett's idea after all. Sir Bennett, it's like, seems, well, an extra hand or two, but he doesn't know the ways that these 3 I've mentioned now.
We'll keep him safe. Don't you worry. And as that, I kind of like. We'll keep him safe.
I put my head into. I nuzzle my head into his shoulder.
Please note, as a dwarf is.
Oh yeah, it's like.
I think I'll grab him from like the waist.
Yeah,
and
you grab him from the
yeah.
waist.
Oh, come on. Give us some love.
All right. Well, in that case. Right. Are we that close to woodland? I don't believe so. He looks down at the map. It's like, ah, yes, probably from. Right, could be that. Anyways, moving forward, then we'll go with Bennett's plan, and we will slow down the pace. This way, we don't tire our troops until you get back with whatever you come back with.
Yes, but I would rather. I mean, it is your plan, correct, Lord Bennett? How about you tell us what exactly we're looking for?
I want you to ask for a priest, specifically by the name of Mortius.
Oh, fun.
He will know what my orders are to help this situation.
Oh, so you know this person?
I trust him. He is one of the faith.
I see.
Would that be Father Mortius then? Your
Not,
lordship?
no, you're going completely into a different religion. This is
Mother? I'm sorry, I don't really understand how this works.
right.
I love you.
Son Mortius, then.
Nice.
Son.
Right.
Also, I'm not sure. Did you tell Augustine what you want to smell like in the book, Bennett?
I think he's. Correct me if I'm wrong. You said
The copy editor will handle it.
right, and I am included in your book.
Yes, I told you. You smell gorgeous.
No, that's
That was-
Conrad.
That's
Yeah.
oh right, sorry. It's
Yeah.
like yeah, of course I put you in the book. And you also smell gorgeous. Trust me.
Gorgeous.
You actually got a bigger part. You smell like poppy seeds.
I do quite like poppy seeds.
I do it.
Very well, gentlemen.
And pray tell, where will we find
He will find you. I'll make sure of that.
Oh, you'll make sure of that, will you? We're not going to run into anything, are we? Anything big, monstrous?
I hope not. It would be quite a devastating loss if you did, probably. But I'm pretty sure you can handle yourselves.
Oh. Can we take more with us?
More companions?
Yes.
Well, that's up to Sir Conrad, and Conrad's already looking a bit like,
Oh, no. Sir Conrad, before you say no, some of the others might be from the, from the other people that joined. Like
The merchants, lad. The
merchants
merchants.
and stuff. Right.
right.
We need some rations.
How undercover does this mission need to be, Bennett? I wouldn't be so concerned. I mean, they're just travelers. If they look like travelers, act like travelers. Yes.
That's right. We need a charade.
Right.
I would say not a bad idea.
And some of us are very good at charades, aren't they, Lord Bennett?
Well, last time I've seen you, Hex, you did not portray yourself as a metal person throughout.
You're right.
So yes,
I
I agree.
transform into an elf, as probably some of you haven't seen yet, and just stare at him, straight in the eye. You're right. I'm sorry. Is this better?
More recognizable, I would say, when I hired you.
How about this? And I transform into one of the guys that had captured us back in season 1. Do you recognize this face?
I do not. I'm sorry, Hex.
Insight.
Apologies.
Alright, what's inside that?
Go for it.
I'm awfully confused.
I just need to see season.
13?
I mean,
13,
who is it?
Yeah.
It is quite noticeable that the blood is rushing to his.
Sorry, 16 that is actually. So that's a 9, not a 6. Sorry.
All right. So yeah, you can see that he's really trying to keep himself composed. He knows what Hex is talking
Mhm.
about.
Okay.
You recognize the signs of Bennett being uncomfortable.
Under pressure.
Yes.
Apologies.
Right. Enough with the small talk and funny transformations. Can you please exit my tent? I'm guessing at this point Samael doesn't need to give you any horses. Are you on foot?
Right. I keep hearing about this Samael person.
Yes,
Where
right.
is he exactly?
Right there, and you just see this little man, like short and very short, like he's almost as tall as Flint, maybe just a bit taller, right? Just there, like shaking.
But it's a boy or a man?
He has a very baby face.
Oh, so it's like a young, it's someone hitting puberty kind of thing.
No, he looks
He's essentially a man-child.
exactly.
Ah,
That's what I'm aiming at. Yes. Yeah, we can hear ourselves in this room.
No, that's from the song. It's been
Ah,
happened
okay.
a couple of
From the
times,
song,
yes, yes. Well, I'm not sure we'll need him. He does seem like a very smart young man, though. I don't know what they've been saying.
You can just see his eyes puff red and tear starts falling down.
There.
Who?
And I pat him.
Conrad or
This is Samael.
Okay.
You emotional.
He flinches as you know.
No. It's fine.
Remember me? I loaned a few horses from you once. Do you remember me?
Yes, sir. Obviously, I remember.
Oh, he does. They're coming eventually.
What's coming, sir?
The horses. I'll get them back eventually.
What?
No.
Sir Conrad looks over. It's like, what horses? Have we
Basically-
been missing any from the stable lately?
No.
Samael just-
And then I just turned to him, and then I just turned to Lord Bennett or Conrad.
Conrad. Sir
Right.
Conrad.
No, basically, I promised him a book about horses because this guy, he just wants to learn so much, and I still haven't gone to him yet. But it's in the library at the university.
You just see Samael just innocently. It's like, but I don't read. I can't read.
We can teach you. It's fine.
It's like, I'm teaching you how to read, okay? I've been tutoring you. The state pays me to tutor you.
All right. Go to your tents
Yes.
now.
What for is your
Go to your tents. Have a good rest. Bennett stops him and is like, no, no, no. I said they'll be riding through midnight in the cover of darkness. So please pack your stuff, whatever you can. Make make your journey light. And make sure you meet with Mortius.
But you said we're still 2 days away.
Indeed. You
do
must
realize then that does not make sense, correct? If we are 2 days away and we leave now, then 2 days will pass when we can simply just go forward with you and then leave on the last day early.
Bennett, he's making sense. No. Sir Conrad, let's rephrase that, right? You said that with the troops, the way they're walking, it would take 2 days' journey, correct? I believe I said that. You did. Scouting these youngsters ahead, right? This party of sorts, they can travel faster, not at the pace of the army, right? I guess. So they will arrive maybe half a day sooner. It's more than enough.
In that case, give us your finest horses. We'll get there even faster.
All right. In that case, it seems, Samael, you are going to be of use.
I always believed in you, Samuel. As I stare into the camera.
Samael kind of nods and he just rushes out of the tent.
As we leave, I whisper to Hex,
Are you comfortable in riding, lad?
Yes, I mean, we probably need to check if the horses really.
So you exit the tent, right? Samael is seen trying to gather a few horses. Some of them were like rising and trying to grab onto, what's the thing called that they hold them? But well,
Rain.
reins, right? Trying to calm them down. What are you guys doing in the meantime? I mean, you have Shalky and Great that have no idea. What have you guys been doing actually?
Well, I guess we've been drinking from the keg that Flint,
I haven't
Flint
been
left
drinking.
behind.
Oh yeah, that guy came
And
back
just
actually,
having-
and he's just like, all right. I got more if you want. And he just pulls out another 2 large ones. These feel light. Get a drink.
Aye.
Get a drink.
Just say yes. If you don't drink it, someone else will.
Fine, that's on you. Fine.
All right.
Well, I mean, you're giving us the drinks. Would you like anything to eat? Because I'm currently cooking my lunch, my dinner, from using the mess kit.
You haven't finished yours yet? Mine's empty. I'll get another one. You guys return and this guy at this point is sleeping. You guys are talking. You made a small fire from his wood.
I'll update the others.
I fly down and transform back in front of them.
That makes sense.
Glad you finally said you'll get some more people along, because I was a little concerned there for a second.
No. I remember.
Also, Mortius rings a bell.
I know, right?
Also, why monster?
Yes.
Long story. Hex.
Quite a long story.
We speak later.
Alright, there's people around.
Right, lad.
We'll fill you in. Maybe when we're, less people.
Fair.
Away from here.
Okay.
I don't
So-
think he's gonna remember anything.
He's there like.
Well, can I make sure that he's okay though?
All you need to know is
He's snoring as
just be careful
He's fine.
of Bennett.
Yes,
He's
I can
not-
tell you have quite the history with this Bennett.
What's up with Bennett and you guys? Have you met him before?
We worked for him.
Am I
You
with them?
worked for him.
Technically.
Oh,
I guess.
yeah, we have. It's quite
he
a story.
technically employed us to foil the plan that he actually concocted himself in the hopes that we would he would stop us and be free of the blame that way.
Yes.
That sounds very, very messed up.
It
Yes.
really is.
Yeah, sounds pretty insane, huh?
I see now. I see. Okay, that's what happens when you have crazy
Well, we'll
stories.
put it up. Well, we'll put it up to question. So
Were you the one advising Bennett at the time?
Advising what?
About the plan.
I just handed in my homework. I told him to give it to a copy editor. I plagiarized 3/4 of it. He wanted to sell a story. I sold him a story.
I'm a little confused. Are we leaving tonight?
Apparently.
Okay.
I think it's
Oh,
safe.
right. Yes, you all need to know. We're leaving tonight.
thank you.
I'll
I need to
do
go take
it.
down my tent.
Out of game, I fill you in on everything that I heard.
Okay.
Yeah, compressing time. Very good. Very wise.
Okay, you are making more sense than them for some reason.
Tends to happen.
Don't by any chance the fly swatter guy, do I happen to catch his name? No? Sad.
Don't worry, if we're walking, the flies will be okay. Aren't they coming with you?
I know. Right before I leave, I'm going to tell him, they're leaving, they won't be a bother. Fuck yourself.
You will wake him up like per percent.
Yes, exactly.
Just send the
Okay.
flies on it.
We're leaving.
Just
They
take
won't
the
be a
swatter
bother
and send the
anymore.
flies. Yes.
Please feel free to go swat yourself.
That showed him. Good job.
It really did. I just feel very confident about myself.
He just kind
I
of
think the alcohol's really getting to me.
Clearly.
he just kind of
I
does
don't really
like.
drink much. I think you can see why.
Samael comes like quickly and holding 4 horses, you know, as much as he can, and you just see him kind of from time to time as they
Lift him up.
lift the head. You just see him rise off the ground and he just pulls them back down. It's like, okay, so here's the plan. Got you 4 horses, but I've also got a carriage if you need, because I couldn't find enough horses to spare.
Carriage is fine.
Yeah, we could either wrap these up 4 horsepower on one carriage and you can just go along like that, or you know, I don't know how you want to do this. Maybe 1 horse carries the carriage. It's a big carriage, and then he kind of points over, and the carriage
had
is
a
like
You were right.
give or
Oh
take.
yeah, I have a horse.
You already have
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He
so
actually he uses one of your horses
Oh.
actually.
I've seen that horse
I
before.
mean,
Exactly. So it's about like 6 feet wide from the front. There's a seating point. There's a bit of a wooden rod where you can hook up the horses to. Can take actually up to 4. And it's about roughly another 7 feet wide from the side. So, you know, 6 by 7 is what you have. So yeah. Can someone please
I
take care of the horses?
calm the horses. I literally just take them
Animal handling.
myself. Animal handling. Okay. Come on, I'm a druid. Let's.
I mean, can I help as well?
21.
Work your magic. What do you do?
He like probably struggles to give me the reins, and the second I take the reins, they just.
Yeah, they immediately like just.
Let's go, fellas.
And they trot along. He's there, sir. How? What?
Oh, Samuel.
I have land vehicles as a tool proficiency, so I go up and start petting the horses down as well.
Yeah, as will I.
Alright. Clearly you're into horses. Alright. I'm gonna get some shut eye if you don't mind.
You do.
Augustine. Again, what the fuck, man? And he kind of walks off. And
And I yell
jump
after
up-
him. She read the book about horses.
I jump up onto the driver's seat,
okay.
and whoever sits next to me, I just hand over my crossbow.
Alright, I reckon 4 horses attached to the carriage makes more sense to look like merchants.
That's true.
Mm.
It'll probably be actually only slower, so we should be fine. Yeah.
Alright.
Okay, do we take turns in resting in the carriage on our way?
I technically don't dress, so I can always stay at the front, so that's not a problem.
All right. So
I would
you
like
you
to
ride onto the
resume my owl
Okay.
shape and fly slightly ahead in case of any ambushes or
Cool.
predators or
Before you ride off, Bennett comes in front of the carriage, stopping the horses, petting one of them from the front of the neck, and he kind of rolls over and says, "May I remind you,
You may.
what you know
Mm-hmm.
is not to be shared with anyone."
You have no worries, Lord Bennett. Your secret's safe with us, and I wink at him.
Very good.
I have a question.
Yes?
Did he see me transform into the owl?
No, he didn't.
I poop on him.
He looks over with a bit of disgust and he's like, "I guess people consider this good luck, but then again."
Augustine, put that in your book, please.
I handed in already.
Made of poop.
Let's start the second edition, boys.
And this is how we're going to end the session tonight. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. It's been a pleasure once again. We remind you to follow us on Facebook if you want to keep up to date with all the events we do. Thank you once again to my god. Right. Miniature Corner Studio. Don't forget, guys, you're getting one of these next session. If you are interested in said item or otherwise, they do also do mini figurines at a very cheap price. Look them up and you can actually order them from them. Very good prices. Also, Temples and Dragons for letting us use their facilities for our live stream. Till then, our next stream will be in 2 weeks, a 2 session with Group 2. Have a good